I'm ever going to be. Oh, can you smell the head and shoulders coming through the stream? I can smell it here in the room. A little wintertime dandruff control needs to be done occasionally. Man, I need a haircut, don't I? I need a haircut bad. I mean, it's real bad. I mean, that's something. That's something. All right. So, what's going on, people? Hope you're having a good Sunday or whenever you watch this. If you ever watch this, imagine if you never watched this, but somehow you're like, I feel like F Zappa 20 is streaming and he just wished me a happy Sunday. Well, you should get on YouTube and look and see if then confirm that for yourself. So they're going to start out at the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin. I got to say, the shows seems like people are pretty fired up about Deer Creek. The first 3 night run, right off the top, too. Not right off the top. I guess I just said they're opening at Madison, but then quickly over to Deer Creek. And, shows 3, 4, and 5 of the tour, I don't have a ton of hope for. I know summer of 24, they opened up really hot in Mansfield. But I don't know. Most year, and even last year, it's not like they were horrible shows. Hey, good morning, Aiden. But it just feels like they need some shows to get going. Not very often are we going to look back at the first few shows of the tour and think those were the best shows. Merriweather looks like something worth circling, if you're unsure between Walnut Creek and Merriweather. I mean, maybe if you could do all three, obviously you want to do that. Hey, what's up, Mr. Bungle? But just looking at the dates on paper, Merriweather looks like something that could be hot. 5, 6, 7, 8. They got 8 shows under their belt. I mean, it is Merriweather, a venue known for good shows. Then the one off at Lakeview is a weird one. That could be maybe similar to Columbus last year, where you just get a little bit of an oddball show. Savannah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe their first time going to Savannah, which I cannot believe that. I thought for sure at some point in the early 90s they would have played Savannah, but apparently not. Yeah, so I don't know what that again, that's show 6 and 7. Things are starting to heat up by then. Will they try to deliver something special to an area where they've never visited? I mean, that's not like they haven't played Georgia many, many times before. The one night in Syracuse, yeah, I'm going to maybe compare that to Columbus last year, where you get some strong bust outs. Hey, good morning. And yeah, I don't know, maybe, which was not at the time, I was like not really loving the show, but looking back on it and listening, it was actually a really cool show. I just, I don't know. I was a bad fan that night. They weren't playing the songs I wanted to hear, and I wasn't dealing with it well. All right. And nobody wants to hear what would they play that night, Petrica or something. One of them songs I just was like, no, I never liked this song. So, anyways, enough about Columbus. And then Wave of Hope. I mean, yeah, it was great, but did it have to be Wave of Hope? Then they did smash me right in the face with a piper, though. So that was cool. All right. So Lakeview. And then oddly, yesterday I had this little thing, had this little scraper thing here, my little Phish scraper, covering the LA and Lakeview. So I just looked at the paper and I was like, Keview. I just saw just Lakeview without the LA. And I was like, Keview, what did I do? Did I like coin some new word? I didn't even remember doing this. I'm like, what? And then no, it's Lakeview. But then I did think, maybe a Keview's the way to go. I normally don't really like to use the name Kevin around these parts. I'm not a big fan of that guy. I think Kevin's a putz. I try not to mention that loser very often. But a Keview is fun. I like that. I was stumbled upon that on accident. So then after that, moving on to, so people seem really fired up about Deer Creek. I've had a handful. A handful. I mean, I don't know how many hands we have. If we had like 12 hands, a handful of people have commented or reached out to me directly about Deer Creek. I'm thinking about just pulling a fast one and be like, sorry guys, I went to Madison. Madison's indoors, I believe. Yeah, that's another. People are confused over the indoor shows now, 2 summers in a row. I don't know. I don't have any answers. Somebody suggested weather. They did have weather-related delays and issues. Several summers there, this decade, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. There's a lot of bands out there playing. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's up with the indoor thing. I will tell you though that going to an indoor show last summer, it did not change the experience. You're spending your whole afternoon and evening pre-show outdoors. Then you just go inside, watch the show, and then you go back outside for your post-show festivities. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, you might be on that's weather related as well. And look, they're not young men anymore. I mean, I know they can have condition, they can adjust the conditions on stage. Their fans aren't young anymore for crying out loud. So look, it could have something to do with the heat as well. Columbus, Ohio in July, there was a chance that could have been hot. Madison, Wisconsin, July. I mean, there's doesn't seem like it's going to be super hot in Madison, but I don't know. Madison's not near the lake, I don't believe. I think it's kind of central, right? I don't know all my Wisconsin geography real well. But I know I saw, if you're on the lake, that's a whole different deal. So I saw King Gizzard last summer in Newport, Kentucky on a Sunday 2 summers ago, and it was like 90 something degrees. It was 80 degrees at showtime. And then 1 week later, I saw him in Chicago at Northerly, and it was cold. It's freezing by the time the show started. Yeah, that does make sense actually. And let's see, they play in any real big cities? Not that that would matter necessarily. No, they're not. Well, New York City doesn't get much bigger than that. Raleigh, Meriwether, you're flirting with DC there. Syracuse is not a small city. Boston. All right, so they're playing some big and big-ish cities, I suppose. Noblesville's starting to grow. It's weird, man. First time I ever went to Noblesville to see Dave Matthews or something. It was, I think it was maybe my first trip, or maybe Ozfest or something. I don't remember my first trip to Noblesville. I think probably Dave Matthews, or even, God, I feel like there was some other band that was not like fucking Aerosmith or something. Um, but it was nothing, man. They had like a Noble Romans pizza place, a gas station, and the stereotypical cornfields. I mean, there was maybe some soybeans mixed in, but I think it was just like cornfields. And then it just opened up, and there was Deer Creek. It was pretty cool. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about the indoor stuff. Many reasons, possibly weather related. Then you get into weird stuff of yeah, never mind. I wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. So, and then going back to Dick's, the a month off though, a solid month. I know there's usually a gap in between Dick's and the final show of the summer, but this seems to be maybe it's only a week longer. Hell, didn't they end one year in the middle of July up at Alpine, and then still played Dick's like 6, 7 weeks later or whatever it was. But then I know they've played shows into August. I've been to shows on August 2nd. They're finishing at Fenway on August 1st, July 31st and the 1st at Fenway. I don't know about the big major league ballpark stadiums as far as sound goes. They're not. They just, when Fenway was built, they weren't like, yeah, we're gonna have a concert here. Or if they did, I can't imagine the concerts they were planning on 1920 or whenever that place was built. I mean, I mean, look, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. That place probably much like Wrigley. That place is a dump, right? I mean, Wrigley was disgusting. Smelled like urine and beer right when you walked in the place. Now I know it was a Phish concert, but I have a feeling if you went to one of Trey's sober retreats at Wrigley, it would smell like beer and piss. You're not getting rid of that, man. 100 years of drunk baseball fans. God knows what Boston smells like. Fenway, I should say. Again, no offense. If you love those stadiums, I respect those stadiums for what they are. I like the fact that they're just like, no, we're keeping it here. We're keeping this stupid, old, ugly dump of a ballpark right here in this neighborhood in Chicago. It's pretty cool. Now they've done little things to kind of push the neighborhood out of the ballpark. They added lights at one point. They got fences. It's like $1 million to sit on one of the rooftops now. They got snipers threatening to take you out if you're up there illegally. And Fenway's got the monster. I'm trying to say something nice after I just called these historic ballparks dumps. But why? Why won't they play? Why wouldn't they come and play a nice ballpark? Really? Why don't they play that new Yankee Stadium or something? Seems like a nice place. Oh God, could you imagine the ticket prices if they played the new Yankee Stadium? Dear Lord. Phish fans, all I gotta say, the Phish Reddit finally showed their toxic side. Most of Reddit is just a lot of people looking to and just random places. Stand-up comedy is the one that really blows my mind. It's like stand-up comedy, you know? And it's always like, who's the worst comedian? Who had the worst special? Who doesn't deserve to be on Netflix? I hate this comedian. Why does anybody like this guy? I'm like, man, this is, I mean, the word toxic gets thrown around a bit much these days, but pretty toxic in the Reddit stand-up. And then the Phish one, and most of them are. Most people lean into the things they hate the most, I suppose. I do that sometimes in my recaps. Floppy just came in here and opened the door. I'm not real thrilled about that, bud. I wish you could shut the door behind you. I've seen cats do that. I've seen cats close doors. My cats only know how to open them. So I'm going to get up real quick. I'm going to shut that. I have no idea what I was just even talking about 15 seconds ago. What was I talking about 15 seconds ago? Floppy, you met? Oh, no. You're not getting... Come here. Come here. You're getting... I'm going to poke you in the eye. Come here. I want these people to see. I want them to see the guilty face. Look at this. Now, I was just rambling on about something. Don't look at... Oh, you're looking at me? Don't give me kisses? Get that little piss paw out of my face. Get your little piss paws out of my face. I know what you've been doing with them paws. Been scooping piss. Those little piss paws. All right, so where were we? Anybody have any idea? It doesn't matter. Forget what I was talking about. Oh, you're right. This place is horrible, man. Yeah, now it's ticket prices. Yeah, I get it, man. It is getting expensive, and it's not like, but it's just like, this is the gist of it. Phish doesn't care about their fans. Phish just wants money. It's like, oh, give me a break, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can get a reasonably priced lawn ticket at Deer Creek. Where else we got? Is Lakeview, is that a lawn as well? Probably get a reasonably priced ticket there. Look, Boston, that's a big stadium. I don't know. Maybe not in Boston. You might not be able to. Certainly MSG is going to be expensive. I get it. If you're wanting to stay there for a week, yeah, that's rough. Merriweather. Okay, so there's some shows on here that even I wouldn't even complain about them. I just wouldn't go, you know? I don't know. What do you want them to do? Do you want every show to be free? I don't know. It was just, I was like, nice to see you got it in you. Phish Reddit. Oh no. I know, I wish they were too. But you know, we used to always just wish they would. There used to be times when the webcasts were kind of here and there, and it was like, why don't they just webcast every show? Just webcast every show. So they finally webcast every show, and now it's like, why can't they just give us audio? Why can't they give us audio? I don't know. It's never going to be perfect, but I promise that they do care about their fans. They try, you know, but I just don't imagine they ever... they certainly aren't ever, how can we stick it to our fans this year? Yes, Blossom has an amazing lawn. Alpine, I gotta say, I haven't been to Alpine since 19, but the lawn sounded better than any lawn. There he goes, he knows how to open doors. Better than any lawn I'd ever experienced. That lawn in Alpine 2019. I think Deer Creek a couple summers ago sounded good. So even the sound on lawns out there, improving. Took them a long time. Yeah, I know. And so, you know, and I get that too. That was part of their comeback. I believe that they were just like, look, maybe to make this easier so we can all do this, let's just hand a lot of stuff over, you know? I don't know, man. So, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people too, including that guy that was sleeping at the festival, man. Remember, everybody was mad at that guy for sleeping. I'm like, dude, you know how many hours that guy's probably put in the last 3 days? He doesn't care. He's heard bathtub gin before. God, I can hear Floppy in the kitchen now crying. That's his new thing. He gets to go when it's a bunch of snow out there. I'll let him out. But now that the snow's gone, he still wants out. I could trust him to go out, though. Rose, if I let Rose out, man, I just feel like she's a runner. The couple of times she's got out, she immediately goes under a car. One time she climbed a tree, like 5 feet up into the tree, and she just looked back at me just like so vicious. Like, argh. And then she just jumped down and was a normal cat again. But for like a couple of seconds, she might as well have been a tiger, man. We're actually getting some flurry activity out there today, maybe a quarter inch. That's probably what Floppy's all worked up about. He's like, hey, it's snowing again. Don't I get to go out? So I guess that covers Summer Tour. I don't know what I said, if anything, really. Deer Creek seems to be the shows people are excited about. They can pull it together, though. Certainly by Sunday, Deer Creek, they can give us a ringer. And then, yeah, Merriweather, if I had to guess right now, Merriweather and probably Walnut Creek are going to supply some pretty good shows. Syracuse might be an oddball. Syracuse might not look like the other shows on paper. Add them 5 MSG shows, 2 of them are probably going to be, A minus territory. Fenway, I got concerns. Then you got to take almost over a month off before Dick's. The West Coast people, of course, getting shafted again. But then I recall, wasn't not long ago, they did some fall dates out west, and there was empty seats, several arenas. I don't know, West Coast. Oh, no, he's back. He's back. Come up here. Come here. Where'd you go? Come here. Why don't you sit in the empty chair, be the co-host? Hmm. And yeah, totally. That's awesome. The 100th show on New Year's Eve. And then Forbin pointed out that all the shows that we know about, either the shows that have happened or the shows that are scheduled, that puts them at 38. 12 shows in the fall, put them at an even 50. Sounds pretty good. He is mostly excited about, let's see, what would he be mostly? Deer Creek. He would probably be most excited about Deer Creek as well, actually. You got anything to do with foxes on here? We got a fox in the neighborhood. He's a big fan of that fox. I know they do get the Sphere. You're right. And they'll just complain they can't afford to go to the Sphere. And if you live in like Washington or Oregon, the Sphere is still a bit of a trip. Same thing with Dick's. But yes, they get Dick's every year. They've gotten a lot of the Halloween shows out in Vegas. What? What? Did you say? He might see the Cardinal. Sorry. He got puked on at a show. Oh no. Oh no. That's awful, dude. Was it bad? Like just a little bit or all over you, Barry? You think so? You think Cleveland would be a good place for one, Scott? A Sphere in Cleveland? Guess they're talking about one over in the DC area. I don't know. People seem to be anti-Sphere. I don't know why. I guess it is. I don't know. People just seem to want that place to fail. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. I don't understand the mentality sometimes of people. I'm probably never going to go to the Sphere. It's a reality, but I don't want it to fail because of that. Okay, Iculus. I would say that would probably, I don't know about Savannah, but I think Raleigh and Merriweather should be very good, right? Oh, you like an oval. Okay. Well, they got the egg. Don't they got something like the egg in Albany or something like that? I'd like to hear the spatial sound. Um, I hear it's awesome, but I don't quite understand it. I don't understand what they mean. And then they're like, if every seat has its own sound, like, what if you're I don't know. You're like, well, I wanted that seat where I heard Paige this way or something. Oh, nice. You saw Mike at the egg? Cool. Yeah, I do. Long time ago, Mike it was one of their official releases on the app. Mike had an egg show in Albany. God, it might have been 10 years ago or something now. It's unbelievable. This is one of the best Mike shows I've ever listened to. I don't know, man. I'm pretty happy with Deer Creek. Now, if there was no Deer Creek and I'm looking at this schedule and I had to like just say Deer Creek was Alpine, well, then Alpine wouldn't make sense since they're doing. Let's just say Deer Creek was northerly. I don't know what shows I'd be doing. I'm not a northerly cold. I don't like that. July 17th, and I'm tired of going that part of that, going in that direction too, leaving Ohio and heading to like Meriwether, Charleston. Where else have I been? I don't know, several places, even Asheville. Last year went to Bald Head, just a regular vacation. Going straight south this year for vacation. Don't have to worry about those mountains. They're just like the weirdest mountains too. You know, it's not like the Rockies, but you knew that. What's going on in Asheville? Oh no, I'm done going that way, man. I don't plan on if I have my say, I'm never driving that way again. I just want to be able to just chill, you know, just be nice. Like going away. I'd rather drive to St. Louis or Kansas City again, which is not a fun drive. It is flat and there's a lot of nothing, but it's cool. You can almost just be like, "Whoa, what happened?" We were like, it's like an hour just went by, and I have no idea what happened. I've been paying no attention to anything for an hour. But if you're like trying to leave here and head to somewhere in North Carolina, oh, I'm gonna kick your ass, dude. You're worse than a child. You know, my mom used to tell me when I was a kid a lot, in or out, in or out. That's how I feel about this little monster right now, man. In or out. They were comfortably sleeping too when I started streaming. I was like, good, it's a good time. They got their food, they got their begging out. And now he heard me in here talking. He was like, ooh, what's going on in there? Got some activity. Maybe I can get outside. What are you doing back there, buddy? They say people don't want black cats. Like a superstition, really, that black cats go unadopted or rescued or whatever. I think he's cool. He's got a couple little white hairs here on his chest that might expand as he gets older. I noticed our neighbor's black cat. He's got a little puff of white there too. What are you looking at, buddy? Hmm? Why don't you do something cool? Why don't you jump over here or something? Do something cool. Ridiculous. I'm gonna go shut the door again. You're gonna be stuck in here. Yeah. Let's see if he follows me to the door. Oh, a little hanger mark there. Now you're stuck. You okay with that? You okay being trapped? No, no, no. Where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going? Oh, yes. I'm going to hold him like a mobile, burp him like a little baby. Let's see. Are you looking at the camera? I'm going to hold him like he's a little baby. Yes. I'm going to burp the baby. Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Can you imagine if your infant did that? Where are you going, buddy? Hmm? How big he is, dude. I did not know he was going to be this big. Big monster. Hey, what's up, Dan Z? Yeah, sometimes it's I don't know. There's times when it's real bad. You're right. There's nights when it's real bad, but most nights I'm like, I'm happy with this, I suppose. There he goes again. Need to get something to like throw at the door to shut it. Oh, and then Mike pointed out too, coming off the Sphere shows, somebody commented, Mike, he commented that, I was trying to think. I thought Mike has a more to his name. I'm drawing a blank on it. Anyways, Mike, you know who you are. He commented that maybe these New Year's Eve show or these MSG shows being what is it, shows 92, 93, 94, 95, whatever, something like that. 96, 97, 98. Yeah. So maybe each year could have like a theme from that year, like show number 92 could be like, they could be like a 1992 Phish song. I guess the only problem would be like Sure, once you get from 92 to 96, you would notice a difference, but 92 and 93, it would almost seem like very similar shows, unless you just like really, you do a callback to something that was very 1992 or 3 specific. Okay, the 30, wow, that's crazy. 30 years since Billy Breeze. And then I know Rush, like I saw Rush, that came up recently, that Rush is playing a show somewhere in between these Phish shows. And not my very first show, but one of my first shows was Rush 30 years ago at the Nutter Center. So, I don't know. The recent 1993 release, New Year's Eve 93, a little bit of a Peaches Fest, you know. Maybe if they had released this show a little closer to the time, they could have touched on that. It was kind of fun. It was fun. They just kept going in and out of Peaches. Oh, really? That was his first ever lyric? Nice. I don't know who's going to drum for Rush. Danny Carey? I don't know. I just know he's another guy people love. Yeah, shout out to Billy Breeze 30 years later. One of my friends, that was what introduced him to Phish. A college radio station around here played like 4 songs in a row from Billy Breeze back when it came out, and that was his first ever introduction to the band. I don't think Primus opened. No, it was the Test for Echo tour. I think I'd remember Primus opening. I don't think Primus opened. No, I don't believe so. I remember one of my friends got extremely drunk. I mean, we were like 3 beers probably would have got us extremely drunk back then. I don't know. He was probably about like me. He was probably about 140 pounds or something. Maybe not even that. I don't know. Oh, you lived in the New England area when Farmhouse came out, huh? Granola Paradise, huh? Ah, yeah, I can see Free being, yeah, I mean, look, Free live. The combination of Free live with the lights was one of my first moments. It was actually my third show, but that was the first time when I was like, this is amazing. I want to come back to a lot more of these. Yeah, I think for me it was like I know the first CD I bought was July 16th, 94. That was the first show I bought. That was my own. That was the first Phish thing that I owned. But before that, I had heard a lot of Hoist. A friend at one point, I've told this story before, he like purposely left Hoist in my car, knowing like he'll get curious. He'll check it out. So I started liking a lot of the songs from Hoist. I left my ring in the shower. Be careful. I just always get hair, and when I start washing my hair, it gets all in my ring. I don't like it. Sometimes it gets wrapped around. Sometimes when hair starts to fall out, it's maybe a little too much information, but I'm showering with all this hair. Maybe you short hair guys don't know about this, but I'm showering, and then hair falls out like everybody, but sometimes it wraps around my penis. And I like pull on it. It's like try to get rid of the hair. And then I'm like strangling my penis with a hair. It's pretty unbelievable, really. Another reason I need to get a haircut. Telling you guys, it's wild out here. So a lot of you guys have seen Rush, huh? Interesting. I mean, it's a good show. They played a lot of that album, Test for Taco, and then they played all the hits at the end. I wasn't a huge Rush fan. I knew the hits and I knew the new album at the time. My friend, who was a little bit of an aspiring drummer, obviously loved Neil Peart. This is the same friend. I went with him one time to buy some cymbals. He said he was looking for a cymbal where he can, to which the salesman said, "Oh, so you kind of want to crash and ride." And we still laugh about that. So we've done about 30 minutes here. I didn't talk a whole lot about that New Year's Eve show, but it's recently released. It's on the app. Almost snorted. It's a bit of a Peaches fest. They play Peaches in Regalia, and then they go back into it a couple of times in Possum, and It's Ice. Yeah, that was nice. And an otherwise really good show. A sick Tweezer, a really big Jean-Luc Ponty tease, the Miles Davis song. Trey's backed off on that, though, a little bit. He's probably teased that, though, as much as San Jose in their career. I feel like there's so many times it's not noted on .net. Character Zero is a big one. He liked to play it in that. I don't know. It's something like that. I don't know. Anyways, in the Tweezer, I should timestamp that. It's a blatant Jean-Luc Ponty tease. All right, people. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a good Sunday morning, afternoon, evening, Monday. Maybe you'll never see this. I don't know. Maybe there will be something where you're like, what is that? It's me. All right, guys. Boom. Amber. Everybody else was here. David. Mr. Bungle. Thanks for hanging out, Mr. Bungle. I know I missed most of the chat. Fish Finder. Oh, yeah. People were talking about our firsts. We never forget our first. All right, dude. Later, Aiden. Thanks for hanging in there. Barry Cantaloupe. Boom. Hey, what's up, Buffalo Bacon? People like the tour cards, Buffalo Bacon. I think I'll keep those on display. Thank you for sending me those. He makes these cool postcards, and he's nice enough to send me one. All right, guys. Boom. If you were cool, you'd send me stuff too. All right. I love you guys. Boom.